if you want to do a little bit more research on all of this harm reduction, education and prevention, you can consult our manifesto. You know, we're always bashing on about our manifesto because we are so proud of it. Now, this particular book is actually on its way to our Honourable Minister of Finance, Minister 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿. And he's been a bit in the news lately. And we've always been quite fond of him. We love the way that the media make fun of his shoes. We love the fact that he posed in front with his 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿. And so we have sort of found a way that we might just be able to get a copy of this book. So it's going in a nice envelope with Fields of Green sticker on the outside with a beautiful handwritten note and a covering letter. So everybody out there, please hold thumbs that we get it right. Because we've got this plan and we think that it's respectful and we think that it might just work. Because, you know, we're busy sending the manifesto out to all of the stakeholders. But
it's actually quite a nice segue into what our next topic is actually.
So our Minister 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿 has been in the news and Dan's going to tell us about it in our second CBD and insert.
So, as we all know, Tito likes to grow, and what he's basically saying is SA Finance Minister calls for full legalization of cannabis as a taxable product. This is the latest from our favorite minister. South Africa's Finance Minister Tito Mboweni has called for the full legalization of cannabis. He says cannabis should be a legal taxable product that generates money for the fiscus, creating jobs and brings illegal farmers into the economic mainstream. It's simple. He wants to include everyone. He knows that there's worth in what cannabis has, the worth it has in the industry. It's a player in the game.
They must be able to play.
That's it. And if you bring them in, they will provide money to the country because they're happy to pay. The minister was in a private conversation with Cannabis Africa, publisher Brett Hilton, near Tzaneen in Limpopo, welcoming the fact that the National Cannabis Master Plan is likely to be presented to NEDLAC this week. NEDLAC is a forum of key economic stakeholders that Mboweni was instrumental in setting up during his time as Labour Minister.
Well done to Brett Hilton Barber for securing that interview.
Sure.
You know, he's a veteran journalist. And and he's been around since the bad old days of apartheid and all of that, and I think much respected. And he is the publisher of Cannabis Africa, the news portal where this comes from, well, that organised the interview. So,
don't you just love this picture? They've got this huge big red circle around the cannabis tree.
I bet you they were all standing there looking at the small plant, pointing out the small plant and be like, wow, look at this cannabis plant.
Well, I just think that just tells you absolutely everything about the state of things as they are.
This is literally it. This picture is South Africa.
You know, the fact
look at that bush.
Yeah, the fact that this has happened, like this is put out to the public, and then our ministers the finance minister is pushing something to be actioned, and it's not being actioned with like immediate effect. Clearly, that's exactly they're not looking in the right place as the picture puts out.
Exactly. They're looking in the wrong place.
This was a picture.
Yes.
One picture we see in text.
Thank you.
This was a picture that Tito tweeted a while ago.
Yeah.
And now they've taken this picture and they've circled what they thought is the cannabis, but they don't see.
I think that they should read the manifesto and go to Hello Cannabis 101.
Well,
it's the first chapter of the manifesto. We don't smoke the leaves.
Well, I think the fact that we're going to get one of these two, Tito, is going to really... Well, everyone hold thumbs, please. And even if you ever see him or if you ever get on a tweet with him, point out to him that this is coming to him, that he must look at the manifesto, that it is on its way and that it is something that you believe in as well. So... Please. Minister, read through this.
If you want to save the bit.ly link to the manifesto download page, you just have to look at one of our social media feeds, 𝐏𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿, Fields of Green, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those. You'll pick up that bit.ly link, or you can go to the manifesto page on our website and you can copy-paste that to a little note on your phone. So when you're sitting there and going through Twitter while you're waiting for something, and you see, there's somebody talking about cannabis, drop that link to the manifesto in there, have it at hand. It would really help us, And then if you come across somebody who should have a hard copy, particularly a government person or a big business person or somebody who's sprouting out about how much money they're going to make from cannabis, they say to me, oh, have you read it? Have you read it? This should be the guiding document for everything.
Or how much money they have to invest in cannabis. They should read this first.
Yeah.
Before
I think
they
if we
get
just,
caught
I
up
think
by
if we
snakes.
push Tito's name on all platforms, make him an
Yes.
at on every platform you ever can go on.
Yes.
Always say Tito, look here, Tito, look here. Get him aware of how much
that's
there
a
is
good way,
activity
yeah.
happening in the
Yeah.
cannabis scene, so that you can see that it's not just maybe
Make
the
him our
one side that he
bestie.
might see.
We need
you
to
know?
make him our
We need to.
bestie.
Essentially, we need to. You know,
Yeah.
we have to side with him, well, not side, but at least get him on our side and listen to us a bit more and get him to
Yes.
open his mind and say, look, cool,
Yes.
we'll look at
Yeah.
that. That is
Yeah.
the main goal.
No,
is the
because
multiplier.
it's not a case of when, you know, everybody's going on and about, oh, they're taking such a long time. No, slow down. It's a case of how they're going to do it.
Slowly
and we would
education.
rather wait for a bit longer because I don't know about everybody else, but we've been hearing a lot on the airwaves of how there's R&D cannabis that's flooding the market and bringing the prices down and all of that. We don't want to rush this. We really don't. And we'll get Tito as an ally, hashtag Tito Mboweni, hashtag
That's it.
Dacha Minister, whatever you want to, at Tito Mboweni. I'm sure you'll find creative ways to do that, hey?
While they're busy working out the how, it would be super, super, super nice if they could just let the cannabis prisoners out in the meantime.
Wouldn't that be
Like, that's
nice?
not
Save a bit of money.
Stop
Yeah.
the cops?
Stay with
Save
my
some money on not having to feed some prisoners that really shouldn't be in.
You know, this is the problem is going to be they know that it's going to be apparent that their numbers are going to be down. And they're going to have to replace those numbers.
They're gonna
have to actually work.
Dacha bus with something else.
How about hijackers? Get all the hijackers. The smash and grabbers, you know exactly where they are every day, the same place, the same time.
Yeah.
You know.
It's also serious, though. I think that a lot of people who are getting up our noses a bit, if I can put it that way, you know, all these business mergers and things that are going on is all a bit nauseating, really. That we have to lighten our content a bit. And if you ever do come across any government ministers or big business, ask them to watch this show so that we speak about a bit of the serious and a bit of this and a bit about the cops and a bit about policy and all of
Culture.
that. But we also know what we're doing because we're a very close-knit community, the cannabis community, both in South Africa and around the world. And that's why we consider ourselves authorities to judge whether something is shit or lit.
And we're in.
That was it.